My name is Hazel Howell. I was born in Jamaica. Oh, life is beautiful sometimes, no? Eat mango, sour sap, I think named star apple. They don't have it over here, that kind of apple. And gooseberry. We just enjoy ourselves. Guinea, orange, grapefruit. Life was beautiful because everybody living the same kind of life, you know. Life was beautiful growing up, so beautiful, you know. So beautiful. When grandma keep all the children, them hang up their little bag and they got a lot of present in it. Your parents know what you need and they say Santa Claus bring it for you, and in the morning you're happy. You have balloon, you have a thing named Fifi, you play, you go to the market with them, and it was so happy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Though Christmas to done that day, everything body happy. Visiting other friends and people visit you in. That is the greatest thing in Jamaica. My grandmother and my sister, and we are so happy. They leave us from Somalia, went to England.
Your mother and father left for England?
Yes, and more girls with the grandmother. Oh, growing up, she tell me what you must expect as a girl growing up, you know. Yes, she tell us what as a young girl to expect when we're growing up, and she bring us to church. We go to Sunday school, and she was a Christian, and she baptized in the river. Yes. So, you see, when I'm small, I read the Bible. I remember that I read the Bible. I don't want to get sin that day. No, I always remember that I read the Bible. I remember when my sister went to England, she promised to send me a doll, and she did send me the doll, a big doll. Every evening I dress up this doll and go to the post office and walk, and everybody loved the doll. Yes. She always promised me a trip. She said, when your grandmother die, I will give you a trip, and she did give me the trip.
Where'd she take you?
Yeah, to England. I went to England for 6 months.
What was England like?
England is a lovely place. Yeah. You see, when you go, everybody bring gift for you. They bring money, And when the birthday, they bring present for you. Yes. And they cook like ram soup, meat, every little thing, you know.
Your father?
Yes, my mother and father was there. They were so supportive.
Did you miss them?
Yes, I miss them so much.
How many years were you separated from them?
You know, they go and come all the time. And my sister is out there. Everybody visit, you know. And when we go over there, it was a nice time.
Why did they leave Jamaica? Why did your mother and father leave Jamaica?
Maybe for a better life, because they leave me and my 2 sisters, and they went to England.
Did they have a better life?
Yes, they had a better life.
And when did you leave Jamaica?
Me? That must in the 80s. Well, you know, my grandmother died, and that's so. My daughter over here, and she give me this trip to come.
And you stayed?
And stayed. Oh, America was so lovely. Hear them, I forget to take your picture your first day in the United States. That's what they said, you know.
Oh, Prospect here in the Bronx?
Prospect in the Bronx, yes.
What did you think of the Bronx?
Oh, it was lovely.
That's nice.
Lovely. And they did have the sunshine, you know. I came in July. And hear them, you miss July 4th, you miss July 4th. It was a big day over here. It's like independent in Jamaica. I say, oh yeah, yes.
What did you think of your first winter here in New York?
Wow, I like it so much. And I like the snow. I like to touch it. It come in like snow cone. They have a thing in Jamaica, and them shape the ice and put the syrup on it. When me tell my friend them how I like this, hear them, they believe I me want, them think me foolish, but me like it. I like this, so much. I like to walk in, yes. I like everything about New York. The people, them are kind, they're lovely. I remember one day I was walking in Prospect, and a lady come and say, "What a pretty old lady." And hear me, then me pretty. And here, my people gonna draw, somebody gonna draw money for me. And she give me $20 just like that. And she, it come in like when I was in England. When you're in England, the upstairs bus, in the morning you have to have your right fare. So I was looking for my fare one morning. And this white lady came up to me and said, "There, don't worry, have my fare. I will get mine from somebody else." People always love me anywhere me go. Even here, the people, them are so nice to me.
What would you say to young people who want to come here to the United States? What can they expect?
Well, like how them young, life is here for them. They can go to school and they can learn a trade, That's the best for them.
Helen Pygott, age 75. I was born in South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina. Came from Florence when I was 18. I wanted to make a better life for me and my daughter. I had a daughter.
What?
I slept in.
The sleep car?
Yeah.
The sleep cars?
I slept in, babysitting, between Sheephead Bay and Brighton Beach. I did that for 3 years.
What kind of
Some
family? Jewish folks?
I had 3 little boys.
Okay.
I took care of, yes.
And how did they treat you?
Oh, they thought I was their mother because their mom was never home. And their father, he was a man that built houses. And every night he came home, he said, "Where's my wife?" I said, "I don't know. I guess I'm your wife." He used to laugh. He used to laugh at me when I would tell him that. He treated me like I was
Like family.
just a family of theirs. When they went to their mothers, when they had holidays, I went with them to keep the kids. We all ate at the same tables.
Well, your daughter?
My daughter was in South with my mom. My mom wouldn't let me bring her. She was there. She was there until she was 2 years old, and then my mother came here to live, and then I took my daughter. Yes, I lived in Harlem, 122nd Street, between 2nd and 3rd Avenue.
Wow, a young lady living by herself
That's right.
in Harlem.
Own apartment.
Did people say things about you living by yourself? Did they call you an easy
I had
woman?
nice people. I had nice old ladies that treated me like I was their daughter. I left Harlem, then I came to the Bronx.
And what was the Bronx like?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. Because first I lived on 3rd Avenue. I lived there for about 9 months. And I had to move from there because the rats almost ate us out of the house or home. You couldn't even sleep. You see the rats coming up the steps. I was living, I had a rat in my bathroom with a big hole. I said, because they would air make all garbage out the window. Between the 2 buildings, they had a big open space, and that's where they throw the garbage, and that's why there were so many rats. I left there, I went to Stebbins Avenue.
What was that like?
Oh, it was nice. Then I had my other kids then. I had already had 3 kids.
So were you married? Did you get married?
No, never was married, and I'm happy. I think I lived it better not being married than being married.
So you had lovers.
Lovers. Lovers. Beautiful lovers. I had nice lovers. Oh, they were beautiful to me and my kids.
That's what memories with a lover, taking you where, doing what, going where, eating what?
Oh, all of my lovers took me out. We went places. We had fun. Then my last lover that passed away, we drove to Myrtle Beach, and we had a lovely time for a whole week. We went in the water. We had fun. We stayed there for a week.
What is his name? What was his name?
King Bishop.
King Bishop. How did you meet him?
Well, I went to church, and he went to church and came back. And on 174th Street in the alleyway, they got They plays card back there. So he was standing up on the corner. When I came by, he spoke to me. He called me, and I went over there and spoke to him. Then we went to talking. And from then on, we was together.
18 years you were
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Did you live together?
No. No. I love living by myself with my house full of kids. But we had fun. We had fun. Lots of fun. Some of the hardest moments of my life is getting the foster kids. Because some of them, oh my God, they was something else. It's not too much of the children, but it was the parents.
And the system?
Yes. When you would take them to visit, the parents was very obedient. Very. They think that because we was foster parents, we wasn't allowed to tell their kids what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. But I let them know in a minute. They are my kids, they're not yours, because if you can tell them, you can't tell them nothing now. I can tell them, because they are mine. It goes on with me, it stays with me.
How long have you been a foster mother? How many years?
For about 37 years.
How many children have you fostered?
I fostered 6, but I had much more in my house that went home because I didn't want to just keep them and adopt all of them. So the 6 I had, I adopted all of them.
So over 37 years, would you say you had more than 10, more than 15,
More than
20?
15, so they comes and then I take them back. They comes and I take them back because some of them didn't want to stay and they didn't want to act right, so I wasn't going to keep them. One girl they gave me was 12 years old. They didn't tell me she was a runaway. This girl was 12 when they put her in my house. Oh my gosh, she was something else. I would get her up ready for school, put her on pants, where she would take a skirt and put it in her book bag, and when she get to school, she would put it on. Then she would ride the railing down the steps with the dress on. Then the principal them calling me, telling me. I said, well, how she got a dress? She wore pants to school this morning. He said, well, she has on a skirt now. So I would go to school, I look at her, I said, when did you take this skirt out of the house? She said, I put it in my book bag. Then I called the agents. I said, y'all got to take this girl because I am not going to keep this girl. And they going to force me. But she did run away one evening from school and didn't come home. And I called the agency that night. I said, listen, I don't know where she at, but y'all better find her because I'm not going to look for her. But the next day they called me from the school. She went to school. And I went there. I said, well, where did you go? I went to my girlfriend's mama's house. I said, she kept you all night? So I called the agents. I said, I'm bringing her down. They said, bring her down so we could talk to her. When I took her there, I had all of her clothes packed. They said, no, we didn't mean for you to bring the clothes. We wanted to just talk to her. I said, no, you didn't. I said, she's yours. Here's your package. And I walked out the agents. Being a foster mom, my best moment is I got them when they was babies. And I just love them to death. Starting from day 2 and just loving them. Neck, they not a pain in the neck, they are pain in the crotch. If I could send them back, I think I would.
What's going on with them now?
Oh, they are the worstest headache you could ever have. They don't want to listen. They don't want to go to school. They go to school late. They calls me. I was in school, but I just didn't get to class on time.
How old are all your foster children right now?
18, 16, 2 15, and 1 14. Now I'm getting back a 20-year-old, my grandson. Then when I got on the phone and called him back, he said, Grandma, I'm sorry. I'm lonely. Can I come stay with you? I said, yes. Come on.
This is your daughter's son?
Yes, one that passed away.
Tell me about your daughter. Her name?
Her name was Margaret Pygott Lanier.
She your firstborn?
Yes.
Tell me about her. What was she like?
Oh, she was a beautiful girl. I hated when she got married. She left home when we got married. I wanted her to stay in New York, but she jumped up and moved to Georgia. And that's where she got married to his father. My relationship with her was great.
Close?
Very close.
Like best friends?
Yes.
What did you do together?
We did a lot together until she moved away. When she first was diagnosed, she had breast cancer. So she went to the doctor and everything, and they said it was in remission or whatever you call it.
Remission.
Then about 6 years later, she wound up with cancer in her back. Then the doctor said it wasn't only in her back, it was in her bones. It had spread.
So she never did chemo?
She did chemo and everything, but it didn't work. She would be so sick. Then when I went there, after I called her, she told me, "Mommy, I'm so sick." So I went down and my baby son, and we stayed 3 weeks with her. My child was so sick.
She lose weight? Was she skinny?
No, she wasn't skinny, but she just couldn't eat. When she would eat, she would throw it up from that chemo. We used to pick her up in our arm and take her in the doctor and bring her out because she was so weak she couldn't walk. I had to cry, but my son was there to help me on.
To give you strength?
Yeah, to see my daughter couldn't help herself, and the doctor couldn't do her no good. When we left from there, we came back to New York.
You brought her?
I didn't bring her because what it was, we were going to bring her in an ambulance because she couldn't fly because the cancer had went up to her brain. So then we put her on the train. We left her daughter brought her here on the train. And by the time she got to 34th Street, the ambulance had to take her straight to the hospital. Her sugar had went up to 1,000. She was in the hospital, it must be about 2 months.
Wow.
And the whole time she was there, I was there in the room with her because they gave me a bed in the room with her. They took the patient out, put them in another room, and gave me the bed in there with her. 2015, April the 1st, I woke up that morning because she was groaning in the morning in the bed. I said, "What's wrong, baby?" She said, "Mommy, I'm so sick." I said, "I know, baby." I said, "The doctor said you're not getting no better, you're getting worse." She said, "I know." I said, "I love you, and I hate to see you go." I said, "But God loves you best. Close your eyes and go to sleep." And she took her last breath. I never recover because I keep remembering. I just pray and ask God to give me strength, and I just keep on going. Keep myself together and just go and just laugh and talk with peoples. I'm a people person, and I love to be with peoples, and I love to have fun.
You feel like Bronx River has helped you in your morning?
A lot. The peoples in Bronx River have helped me a lot. I wish they would just open up and pray and do the right thing to stay out of trouble.
About living.
I would tell them, living is a joyful thing. If you put your mind on what you want to do, just keep on doing it and live it.
And what would you say about people who are looking for love at 75?
I would tell them, it's nothing wrong with looking. Just find your love and keep on loving. Because it's a beautiful thing to love and keep loving.
Leonor Pacheco, los momentos más felices de mi vida fue cuando tuve mi primera hija. Estuve casada por 18 años. Me pronosticaron que no podía tener hijos. Tuve un tratamiento. Después de ahí tuve mi hija, que esa fue la primera felicidad que tuve en mi vida. Bueno, mostrarle a ella y darle todo mi cariño, todo mi amor, todo el apoyo condicional que ella realmente necesita en estos momentos.
Cuando llegaste a este país, ¿qué viste? ¿Qué encontraste?
Bueno, yo vi en este país muchas cosas bellas y bonitas, muchas oportunidades de trabajar, estudiar, ayudar al prójimo. También vi que en Puerto Rico yo no asistía mucho a la iglesia y vine a este país, ¿verdad? Asistí a varias iglesias. ¿Cómo se dice? Ayudando a la gente de la comunidad, a lo que me necesita, especialmente mi familia, una familia muy unida, una familia de 12, y me siento contenta porque tengo una familia muy grande, muy bella. Más que me ha formado como una mujer es ser madre. No, le digo, la felicidad mía fue mi hija, mis 2 nietos preciosos que aún tuve, tienen uno 21 años, otro tiene 18 y siguen siendo my babies. Ellos me dicen, Grandma, don't call me babies. We are not babies, Grandma. We are already teenagers. Yo, no matter what. Que estén grandes, casados, que sea, sigue siendo mi babies.
A ello, ¿cómo se trata una mujer?
Yo le digo que a la mujer ni verbal ni físicamente se le ofende, porque uno nació de una mujer y la mujer se respeta, no importa de qué país venga o lo que sea, se respeta, porque ellos salieron de una madre.
3 ejemplos.
Yo he podido sobrevivir, fue el primero, la muerte de un hermano mío en Puerto Rico, 37 años de un stroke. Me vi afectadamente, bien mal físicamente. Después vino la muerte de mi padre, mi madre, a la misma vez. Me afectó bastante, todavía lo lloro, porque mi corazón realmente, esa herida no ha cerrado. También me ha afectado la violencia doméstica, que tuve 20 años con mi violencia doméstica. Yo no sabía mis derechos en este país, porque vine sin saber inglés, no sabía mis derechos. Ahora que estoy de cierta edad, he aprendido bastante de mis derechos, de cómo defenderme.
Respira. Go.
Bueno, mi violencia doméstica vino de parte de mi esposo, papá de mi hija. Sobreviví tanto. Mi hija tenía 3 años y yo, huyendo de él, tuve que brincar por una ventana con ella. Ella tenía 3 añitos. A las 3 de la mañana crucé por un parque que se llama Summer Park en el Bronx. Me refugié con mi familia. Sufrí mucho. Todavía estoy más o menos teniendo eso en mi corazón y en mi mente. Yo la exhorto a todas aquellas mujeres que están pasando por esta violencia doméstica y a veces se quedan calladas, no se atreven a hablar por miedo a su pareja. Yo la exhorto que hablen, porque para eso hay muchos sitios que uno puede desahogarse y hay, aquí en Nueva York, en el Bronx, en todas las áreas de Nueva York, hay mucha que se llama SFTA para las mujeres que la cuidan sobre violencia doméstica. Cualquier abuso de violencia doméstica, no importa si hay hijos, hijas, familiares, esposos. Mire, está el 911. Si no pueden llamar al 911, busque refugio en otro lado, que sí, lo va a conseguir y le van a ayudar. Hay muchas mujeres que se quedan tal vez por miedo al hombre, amenazas. Mujeres que inmigran y tienen miedo que la vayan a deportar. Esa es una de las más fuertes que está aquí en la ciudad de Nueva York. Y yo le exhorto a toda aquella mujer inmigrante que se tire a la calle, que hable, que diga el abuso que tiene en su hogar, su pareja, su familia, que inmigración jamás va a coger esa querella personal. No la van a deportar. Vayan y busquen ayuda, que sí, la tienen.
My name is Minnie Cherry. I belong to James Monroe Senior Center. My most favorite moment here at James Monroe, when I first entered into the center, I was greeted by Miss Elizabeth and others. And my most favorite part and activity that I took in was when I saw the women sitting in the language class. And I opened the door, and at that time they said that we're in session. So I didn't give up. I came back maybe the third time. And then that's when the other ladies came in, and I said, I'm going in anyway.
To the writing class?
To the writing class. To the writing class. My love story with my husband.
Where you met, all of it.
With him, where when I was in high school, playing basketball, and it was like I was on the team. And our team won. And at that time, then that's when we were over, and he came and approached me. And from that day, we started, talking to each other. And at that point, then that's when, as I continued in high school and getting ready to graduate, that's when we really got really closer with each other. And from that day to this day, the love just kept growing, and we got engaged to be married.
What makes a strong marriage?
Love, trust each other. That's one of the most important things that I learned as a young girl growing up. Trust. When you trust and love each other, nobody can intervene in your life because you don't entertain what they're saying. It's between the two people, which is my husband, Jesse. My children would say that my mother, they called me the queen, and they called their father the king, due to the fact that how we taught them to trust and love each other and have respect for themselves first, and then have respect for others. I would say to the youth and young people today is to have respect for themselves, and that, when your parents, grandparents, speak to you, have that obedience in your life. And when they say get an education, that's one of the most important things in this life, is to get a good education so you'll be able to take care of your families if you desire to have one day. The story of my parents, they taught me how to love one another. They taught us how to care for ourselves, because one day we're going to grow up to be a young lady. My father always says that you do not let the right hand know what the left hand is doing, because if you let things out, it's a stumbling block that's coming in your pathway. And my mother always taught us how to clean, be very productive in our lives. And when we have children, take care of your children to the best that you can. The time that I have left, I will continue to love all people in this world, in which we see today is not happening, but we're supposed to love one ye to another as Christ loved us.
Aida Romero. Bueno, yo llegué a Nueva York en el 1962. Hice mi vida aquí en Nueva York. Empecé a trabajar, llegué joven. Empecé a trabajar en Nueva York. Me fui a vivir en la casa de mi tío. Ahí hice mi vida, empecé a trabajar diferentes trabajos. Después me mudé de ahí, cogí mi apartamento, me puse a vivir con que fue mi esposo. Tuve 2 hijos de él. Después seguí haciendo mi vida y trabajando en diferentes sitios y lo más tranquila, disfrutando mi vida. Me dejé de mi esposo, de mis 2 hijos. Después cogí el otro esposo, tuve 3. Y ahí yo seguí trabajando hasta que después a lo último tuve que dejar de trabajar porque ya no podía seguir pagando cuido de niños porque era mucho. Y ahí me dediqué a vivir de asistencia pública. Después de eso, empecé a trabajar cuidando ancianos. Ahí trabajé como 25 años cuidando ancianos. Yo quería salir de Puerto Rico y quise hacer mi vida en Nueva York. Un poquito difícil al principio, porque yo no sabía inglés, pero ahí yo me fui adaptando al escuchar a las personas en la calle, en la televisión, hasta que yo me fui desenvolviendo en el inglés. Cogí un curso de inglés y me defendió bastante. En ese curso que cogí de inglés salí al otro lado, hasta que ya me desenvolví, hasta ahora que sé mi perfecto, no sé perfecto, pero me sé defender. Yo he tenido muchos tropiezos en mi vida, que lo cual no puedo, todo no lo puedo explicar, te fijas, porque es mucho que yo he tenido en mi vida que ha pasado. Tú sabes, lo primero fue cuando vine, tuve mis 2 hijos, cuando me mataron uno de mis segundos hijos, que apenas tenía 18 años, que lo perdí. Eso fue mi primer tropiezo que tuve en mi vida aquí en Nueva York. Cuando yo perdí mi hijo, tú sabes, tuve mucha experiencia de eso. Bueno, mi vida, yo tuve fuerza para eso. Tuve mucha fuerza para aguantar eso. Que mucha gente me dice que no saben cómo yo aguanté eso. Tú sabes, y fue en una Navidad que eso me pasó, que fue muy fuerte. Y yo lo pude soportar. Bueno, mija, yo digo que eso es cosa de la vida. Cuando a uno le va a suceder algo, sucede, no hay quien lo evite. Porque eso es cosa de Dios, que Dios vino para eso, para que yo soportara eso. Y son cosas que tú no las puedes evitar y tú tienes que hacerte fuerte y soportarla. Hasta ahora que mira, yo encuentro lo más bien, pienso todo lo que pasó, pero soy fuerte.
Jóvenes, a niñas jóvenes de la vida, de la importancia de sobrevivir.
Bueno, que sigan su vida y que lo cojan suave, que no se agiten, que no sufran de nervios, porque eso te trae malas consecuencias. Tú tienes que ser fuerte y decirles que se sigan su vida fuerte y lo soporten. Para eso hay que tener fuerza.
Hi, my name is Barbara Green. Barbara Martin Green. Green is my married name. I was born here, right here in the Bronx, New York. I've lived here all my life. And I don't think I would want to live any other place. I don't really care for Manhattan or to live in Brooklyn. I love the Bronx. When I had my kids, those were happy moments. My grandkids, my great-grand. And I'm still babysitting. I've been babysitting for my oldest granddaughter is 36. And my youngest great-grand is 18 months. So I've been babysitting for 36 years. It don't look like I might ever stop. Each one that comes, I say, I'm done. And the next thing I know, here they come.
Treat your grandchildren and great-grandchildren different than you did your children?
Yes, you do.
Why? How do you think?
Because you can give them back. You can give them, but they're special in a different way.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you teach your grandchildren?
The little ones? Mm-hmm. Well, I got one now. I'm just waiting for it to get 2 years old. I'm going to teach her not to tear up my house. Because
when she leave, it looks like a tornado went through my house.
Tell me about.
Now the older ones, I don't really have to teach them too much because their parents are pretty good with them. You know, I just talk to them about making sure they, you know, how important it is to finish school, you know, and get a good education because you want to get a job. You know, like my grandkids, great-grands are always around.
What do you do with the
I see
family?
them all the time.
Is family important to you?
Very, very,
Why?
very important.
Why is family important?
It's just important to me. I just love them. I just love being around them. They love being around me.
Some of the kids growing up in these Bronx streets.
Well, some of them I feel bad for because I don't know their parents. I don't know. A lot of them have young parents, and they don't spend enough time with their kids. Some of them are working. I think some of them just don't care.
So you think a lot of
Or
children.
some of them just don't have to. You know, they just don't want to put in the time.
What do you think these kids need?
Well, they need more programs. I think more things to do to keep them out the street. When I used to come to the center, they had everything. We had dance. We had games. We went on trips. We went to the people that work here. We went to their houses. They took us out to their houses. You know, they did a lot of things with us.
What changed?
I guess money. Funds, you know, no funding. When I grew up, well, the first place I remember is 170th Street, Brook Avenue, growing up. And I lived over there till I was like 12. It was nice. We used to be able to skate in the street. We had a schoolyard right across the street where we go bike riding, you know, play stickball and jump rope and everything else. And then I moved over here when I was 12 and started school over here in 7th grade. Yeah, it was safe, yes, because we didn't lock our doors then. Even when I moved here, we didn't lock our doors. When we was growing up, we didn't lock our doors. I mean, I'd get off at the wrong floor and ain't paying attention and open the door on the 3rd floor and walk there and say, oh, excuse me.
And just keep
Close
moving.
the door, keep on going, go up 2 flights more.
And that means people
Well, it was
have.
fun growing up in the projects because you had a lot of friends. I mean, you got, what, like 140 apartments in the building?
And everybody knew everybody.
Yes, yes, yes.
And do you feel like everybody felt like they were family? They were taking care of
Yes,
each other?
They were. Everyone was friendly. Because when I was growing up, there was no crime. You didn't hear people getting killed or shot or anything like that here.
What do you want your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren to know about you?
I just want them to know that I had a good life. Very happy. I enjoyed myself. I didn't worry about being depressed. If I didn't have something, so be it. You make do with what you got. So I just want them to be good, enjoy themselves, get a good education, and just be happy.
Elba más. Bueno, en mi vida yo vine aquí chiquita. So, me crié aquí en Manhattan, en el Bronx. Después conocí, como a los 18 años, conocí a mi esposo y nos casamos. Entonces, cuando tuve mi hijo al año, fue una gran alegría porque yo joven y tuve mi primer nene a esa edad, yo no sabía nada. Pero ahí aprendí hasta que supe llevarla a criar un hijo.
Okay, so your work has been raising children.
Yep,
What was that like?
hard.
Why?
Because, I had 2 then. After a year and a half, almost 2, I had the second one. And 2 kids there, it was hard by myself.
2 sons?
Yeah.
What's it like raising boys?
And I used to teach them, I always teach my kids to treat women like they would treat me.
And how do they treat you?
Very good. They treat me very good.
How is that? What do you mean, very good? They love you, they respect
Exactly, they respect, they love me. And they treat me like a child should treat the mother. Or as a woman too.
¿Qué hace falta aprender a estos niños?
The first thing that I have to learn is how to respect people. There are a lot of people that they don't do it. But I teach them that the way they respect me, they should respect other people. In general, little kids, they curse at older people. They treat them like they were dirt. garbage, you know. So they don't respect. A lot of kids over here, they don't respect nowadays.
Para ti, ¿cuáles son tus valores?
El valor es de a mí me criaron bien y yo me crié a ser una mujer decente de mi casa con mi esposo, y así yo le he dicho a mis hijos que críen a sus hijos de igual manera, que los respeten y ellos respeten. ¿Tú sabes lo que me decían a mí? Abre arriba y cierra abajo.
Exactly, because it's not that we're telling girls don't lose your virginity. We're telling girls protégete.
Yeah.
Protégete y darte a respetar.
Y eso es lo que le digo yo a mis nietas, que se den a respetar y que de un hombre que no les dejen poner la mano encima ni nada, que se dejen que las traten como una mujer. El más grande y difícil fue cuando perdí mi nieto. Hace como, maybe 10 meses que lo perdí. Y eso él ha sufrido desde como de los 7 años, ya le estaba sufriendo de cáncer del ojo. Se lo determinaron, entonces después volvió y le salió al par de un año o 2, y ahí le extirparon el ojo. Después, con tratamiento y todo, llegó y se recuperó. Hasta como 2 años o 3 años atrás, que le declararon que estaba cancer free, pero después volvió y le salió, pero le salió un profundo del cerebro, muy adentro, que no pudieron hacer más nada, y le dijeron a mi hijo que ya no se podía hacer nada. He turned 18 years on May 8th.
He turned 18 May 8th this year, right?
Last year.
Last year. So
He turned May 18 this year, 19. He would have been 19 years old. Ian. Well, he was very sweet. He was very respectful. He was a nice kid.
Tell me what his spirit was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, el deseo de él era he wanted to live. He wanted to live, and he fought for his life into almost the end. On June 25th of this year, he went to his graduation. Last year. And then me and my husband, we traveled all the way to Long Island to go to his graduation. And he was in a wheelchair because he couldn't walk. He had a massive heart attack too. But he was so wonderful, and he was so alive that he wanted to live, that he went to this graduation. He didn't go marching, but they took him in the wheelchair, and he went all the way to the stage. And then we made a little celebration afterwards. He was very happy. Then a few days after that, he went down the hill. It's a great loss. And it went deep in my heart, and I almost broke down, but you know, like coming to the center, it helped me a lot. And talking to people, it helped me a lot. But my son is almost a year, and he's still at it, you know. He wouldn't go to no place to get therapy or nothing. But I spoke to him about a month ago, and I talked to him real heavy, you know, telling him that life goes on, that things what he did good with him and everything. And he even went for an interview because he stopped with everything. He even told his job, I'm not coming back to work. After a year, now that we've spoken, I have spoken hard on him, now he's starting to get a little better. You never heal from a loss like that, and especially a grandkid and so young, and he wanted it to live. And he was preparing to go to college in August.
What do you think that your grandson would want your son to know?
That he should keep on living, that he should stay active like he used to, and be happy, because he's not suffering no more. At least that I got in my heart, that he's not suffering no more.
You go on living. You look beautiful, you look like you're living. What does this teach you about life?
I think about him a lot though, and I cry in my house and everything. But like I told, I come here, I go out, and I try to have a little fun, because that's what he wanted for us to do. To live, to keep on living, until our day comes.
My name is Ethel Douthit. Today is a special day to me because it's my mother's birthday. My mother was born in Summerton, South Carolina in 1912 on a farm.
What's special about your mother?
My mother and I were very close. I had 3 sisters, but I was the youngest of all, and they all got married, and it was just me and my mom at 10 years old. I was 10 years old. So I was the only child in the house, and the baby. And we were just very close. Wherever she went, I went. Well, being in the South, not many places you could go. You know, we went to visit family, I lived in Sumter, South Carolina, and it was always good to visit grandma, grandpa, and all my aunts down in, we call it the country. But we would go, and we went to church. The picnics, the best part about going to church during those times was when they had the picnics. When they had all the everybody cooked. And all around the church there was food. And being a little girl who was always, we was eating everybody's food. Well, growing up in the South, I went to school in the South. And what I remember most about that, I went to all black school because it was in, there was no integration in in South Carolina. So all my teachers were black, and we learned, black culture and whatever from them. And I truly enjoy my black teachers and the things that they taught me, Gave me my individual self instead of having to share it with
People who were not black.
Right.
White people.
Right.
Let's be real. Let's be really real.
Yes. Well, my mother taught me how to be a strong woman. Strength. Because we didn't have a man in the house. My mother played the role of both mom and dad, So we had to be, we had to be strong. The girls had to be strong. And my sisters, they all dropped out of school and went to work. And I learned how, although I went on to school, I didn't have to drop out of anything like that. But she taught me how to be a strong woman, how to care for my family, how to take care of the house, how to just be a strong person, because during those days you had to be strong, you just had to be strong. Well, that taught me that there's not going to always be a man around, and you're going to have to do what you have to do, and this is one of the things. My mother worked it hard in the laundry every day, 6 days a week. Pay was short. It was like $19 a week pay, but she worked and took care of us. And this is something that she taught us, and I learned from her. I was 20 years old. I had just made 20, 2 weeks into 20 when I left, and I came to New York. I came on a sleeping job, because during that time, ladies from the South, they were advertising in papers, in the newspaper, that they had jobs in the North. And, we could come up on a sleeping job, and that's what I did. I came up on a sleeping job. A sleeping job is where you go into someone's home and you take care of their house and take care of the kids and, do housekeeping, things of that nature. To be honest, when I came to New York, I didn't like New York. I didn't, because I was not used to tall buildings. And the place really looked gray and dingy to me. Where I came from, there was houses. My neighbor next door, I could go to her house and sit on the porch and talk. And we were like family. New York, you're not like family. Even today, you're still not like family. With all the tall buildings, you may get to know somebody at some point, but it's hard. After a year here, I decided I wanted to go back home, but I got married and I got stuck in New York. Well, at that point, you know, I had my children. I had to raise my children. And at some point, my husband and I split. And this is where it came in that I had to be a strong woman. The lesson that my mother had taught me, you know, how to be strong, how to take care of those kids, how to do what I had to do in order to survive. And this is the road we took. Now the kids eventually grew up, grown, they all have beautiful jobs, you know, some have retired, and, you know, and I'm still here. 7 children.
7 children.
Mm-hmm.
And so
All gonna remember me for being there for them, for each of them. Going to school, graduating, every graduation they had, I was there. From, I mean, when they started in kindergarten, they graduated from kindergarten, went to 1st grade, they graduated from 1st grade, then they graduated from the 6th grade, then they graduated from the 7th grade, and they went to the 9th grade and graduated, and from high school, and through college. So those are the graduations I've been through, and I've been through that with 5 of the children up through the 12th grade, and with 2 others through the college. I went back to school. I went back to college, I think, maybe in, I think I was about 40, maybe I graduated from college in 44, I believe it was, when I was 44 years old. And it was important for me to get an education. It was also important for my children to get an education, because back in the South, children didn't, you know, I guess I'm talking about our parents, my parents, they didn't get an education, you know, because they had to work in the fields. So it was always important that any child get an education, you know, and keep growing. I think it's important to give back, because if you made it big and you have a lot, someone gave that to you, you just didn't go out there and picked it up. Someone gave it to you. So it's important to give back to the community, or give back wherever you can. You know, it's important.
My name is Elizabeth Bello. I was born in New York City, borough of Manhattan. Right now I'm a resident of the Bronx and have been a resident since the age of 9. I lived in this area for, I say, maybe over 50-something years. I was raised in the New York City housing projects, the Soundview projects. Oh, it was nice because we had, as teenagers, we did everything together. We had different families, young families, and we used to, you know, go to parties together, travels together, movies together. We did everything together. Family time was the holidays, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's when all the family really got together. My greatest moment? Probably when I got married and met the love of my life at James Monroe Center. It was a love story. I retired and I started attending the center, and in the morning, this gentleman used to come and have breakfast with me, sit opposite, and we started conversating. And we realized that we had a lot of things in common. And from there, it turned into, I guess, love.
Can people find love after a certain age?
Absolutely. People could find love at any age, because you're a senior does not mean that it's only limited to the young people. Okay, I found love at the age of 62, and I found it, and my husband was 20 years my senior, and I never realized how old he really was, because to me, he didn't look that age, and he didn't act that age. He was just a happy soul. So the age difference it didn't matter. My husband was a comedian. And no matter what, he never had a bad day, and he was always happy. You know, so we did a lot of crazy things together. My mother's name was Providencia Candelario Rodriguez, and she came from Puerto Rico. And when she arrived here, she came at in the ship, which they called the Marine Tiger. And she came with her brother who brought her over from Puerto Rico. And one of the experiences that she had was when the ship landed at a port in Mississippi, and because at that time they had the white line and the black line, she got on the white line and they made her get off of that white line and get on the black line. And this was her first experience with racism. Oh, it just broke my heart because it still exists. You know, we're still dealing with that type of problem with this racial issue. It's still a problem, it still exists out there. She taught us to be strong women and independent, and to value yourself, give yourself self-worth, to be a leader, not a follower, and to finish your education, have a good education, and have a good job, and to be kind to people.
If you could talk to young people about self-worth, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, you know, to be proud of what they could do, not to be following, not to get into any gangs or stuff like that. You know, that doesn't make them popular. They want to belong, but they're belonging in the wrong, you know, for the wrong things. The senior citizens do have cliques. Yes.
Why?
I can't explain, but it does. It's like it's like people that come from a different country, and wherever they feel comfortable, that's where they migrate, and that's where the clique comes in.
What brought you to the senior center?
Well, since I retired, I said I'm not going to stay home. I'm going to, you know, get involved and keep busy. With the time I have left, I will continue to help others, share in whatever I know, you know, and all the talents that I have, and sharing it with the seniors and showing them different things to do. I will continue to travel and have fun, because life must go on.
Me llamo Candelaria Toledo. Me dicen Candy, porque nadie me dice Candelaria, sino Candy.
¿Qué quiere decir Candelaria?
Candelaria es candelight, como candelabro, fuego, flama, todo lo que esté envuelto en el fuego, eso quiere decir Candelaria. Nací en Puerto Rico, en Calle, Puerto Rico. Viví en una familia disfuncional. Yo era la primera hija. Yo fui la primera hija y yo me hice cargo de mis hermanos porque mi papá trabajaba, mi madrastra también trabajaba y yo me quedaba cuidando a mis hermanos. Tuve una infancia un poquito triste por mi madrastra que no se llevaba conmigo. Pero pude sobrevivir a todos esos problemas que la vida se me presentó aún siendo muy pequeña. Porque no sé que Dios me ha dado un don tan y tan grande en la vida que tropiezo, caigo y me levanto, tropiezo, caigo y me levanto. Ese es el lema mío toda mi vida, desde que nací hasta la edad que tengo hoy en día. Principalmente cuando llegué a este país, vine de 19 años. Me enamoré, tuve novios, los dejaba, así me encontré el padre de mis hijos. Tengo recuerdos tristes, también tengo recuerdos grandes, porque yo cuando era pequeña yo pasé por muchas cosas, pero me encantaba la naturaleza. Oh my goodness, oh mi Dios, cuando llovía, comiendo frutas por los campos, tirándome yaguas por abajo por los riscos. Ese era el contraste de lo que estaba pasando para yo poder sobrevivir. Disfrutar lo que Dios me ponía de frente, no lo que Dios me estaba dando atrás, sino lo que Dios me ponía de frente. Y eso yo lo disfrutaba muchísimo. Oh my goodness. Me recuerdo chapoteando en el agua de aguacero, de las tormentas. La naturaleza en sí, basta uno observarla para darse cuenta la grandeza y todo lo grande y bonito que Dios tiene para uno. Porque imagínense, usted viene invierno, verano, primavera y otoño. Y cada uno tiene su etapa, y así somos nosotros los seres humanos. Tenemos nuestra etapa. Y cada etapa de esa tenemos que aprenderla a vivir. Ya ven los árboles, cuando se le caen las hojas, ellos vuelven y renacen y vuelven y viven. Las flores mueren, pero después vuelven otra vez y nacen otras flores. O sea, todo es una etapa que Dios nos pone de frente para poder sobrevivir a todas las vicisitudes de la vida. He caído y me he levantado por el mismo invierno. El invierno cae la nieve, ya ustedes ven que cuando cae la nieve se pone un charco terrible en la calle, todo sucio, todo eso, pero la nieve está cayendo, está bella. Y así somos nosotros. O sea, tú ves que la nieve va cayendo poco a poco, pero cuando ya esa nieve ya se terminó, lo que queda es un fango, ¿right? Pero entonces ese fango se limpia y vuelve a renacer otra vez. Siempre sentimos como que nos ponen una pared, pero hay que aprender a romper esa pared. ¿Ok? A veces nos sentimos en un momento en que estamos como en una jaula y no podemos salir de esa jaula, pero Dios nos da el camino para seguir hacia adelante. Todos en la vida pasamos por esos túneles terribles. Todos pasamos, porque no hay un ser humano que no haya pasado por eso, pues rico, pobre, de cualquier clase social. Pero yo aconsejaría que busquen ayuda en que se estudien ellos mismos y digan dónde está mi error. Y ese error lo buscan en una ayuda, en su propia ayuda. ¿Entiendes? ¿Dónde yo he cometido mi error? Busquen ayuda, pero primero estudiense dónde que tú estás cometiendo ese error, por dónde que tú estás fallando. Estúdiate tú primero, ¿dónde está tu error? ¿Qué tú has hecho de tu vida? ¿Por qué tú estás en esa situación? Entonces tú tienes que buscar la ayuda. No importa tú, hasta un niño, hasta de un niño uno se aprende. Un niño te enseña a ti. Solamente observa alrededor tuyo, mira alrededor tuyo cómo está el mundo, pero tú tienes que estudiar tu vida para poder resolver el problema que está pasando alrededor tuyo. Por el resto de mi vida, yo quiero ser una persona, darle ejemplo, amar a todo el mundo, repartir ese amor que Dios me ha proveído a mí para yo podérselo dar al mundo entero. Eso es lo único más bonito que yo veo. No rencores, no odio, ¿saben? Porque cuando tenemos rencores nos estamos destruyendo nosotros mismos. Cuando tenemos odio nos estamos destruyendo nosotros mismos, que nos crean enfermedades. Nos crean enfermedades. Entonces, al crearnos esas enfermedades no podemos hacer absolutamente nada. Por eso todos esos rencores y esos odios tenemos que eliminarlos de nuestra vida para echar hacia adelante y seguir viviendo. Bueno, me recuerden con cariño, con amor, que fui un ser humano que daba la mano a cualquiera que lo necesitara. En mi casa yo vivo sola, pero yo reparto mi comida, yo la divido con otras personas, mi vecino le toca a mi vecino, sí, siempre tengan a alguien para que poder compartir con ustedes.
Elizabeth Nieves, Bayamón, Puerto Rico. My mother brought us when we were, I think it was 1952, to Manhattan, New York.
Okay. And what was Manhattan like?
Beautiful.
Describe Manhattan in the 50s.
In the 50s, it was beautiful, a lot of Jewish people. A lot of people were very nice. Well, the Jewish people, you know how they dress, and the Spanish people were dressing different. But they used to get along a lot with the Latin people, the Jewish. Okay. It was a very nice life back then. Peaceful.
Life was peaceful.
Yeah.
And when did it start to change?
Oh, back in the 60s, late 60s.
What changed?
Oh, like back then, the white people did not want us, the Latin people, the black people back then. They were always fighting with us, you know. it was not that easy. Everywhere we go, they call us name, and until we had to put them in their place. You know, we did a lot of fighting, and things got a little bit better. Yeah, the best time in my life back then was being with my family and friends.
What made you the woman that you are today?
Listening to music.
What about music? What kind of music?
I kept listening to music, and all my life I've been in the music business.
Or what kinds of music?
All kinds, Latin music, rock and roll music.
What is it about music? What does music give you?
Because that made me be, in the long run, a booking agent for Latin bands. I travel. It changed my life.
Passionate about it.
His brother, I went out with his brother. I was going to marry his brother for 7 years. But then I changed my mind. Wow. What I told him was, his brother was Miguel Ángel More. I told him, it's better for you to be one of my singers from my group. That was Son de la Loma. And for a couple of years he was singing with us and all that. I tried to change his mind. I didn't want to get married. He died like a couple of years back. And after that, you know, I travel a lot with the band.
¿Tú crees que la música te salvó la vida?
¿A mí?
A ti.
Sure.
How?
Because I never stopped booking bands. I'm not going to leave my band for nothing in the world. And it's, to me, the best medicine in the world. That I think is the best thing. Anybody who is in music are always happy people. Always. You know, they always have a smile, they're always happy, they're not thinking about problems. And dancing and singing, forget it.
I love that.
It's the best thing in the world.
Who were some of the greatest people that you met in the business?
Well, Armando Sanchez was a famous person. En Spanish se llama historiador sobre la música y sobre la religión. Era un babalao. Eso se habla de la religión. El hermano de Benny Moré, el sobrino, es mi padrino. Que son gente de fama. Él es babalao también. And I met a lot of famous from Cuba. Well, I love it. I'm always happy when I'm surrendered with people who are in the music. When I'm surrendered with people who all they do is waste my time, I can't sleep. I gotta be with the music and the dancing and traveling. That's it. Oh, my best advice, if they have any talent, to keep it up and never give up. And if you have a bad marriage, pull it aside. Keep going straight with the music, right?
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
I'm fine, darling.
Okay.
What it look like?
I love you.
I know you do.
You're ready.
Oh.
It's already recorded.
Oh, no, you didn't go there.
We already recorded.
Yeah, you done said enough.
A cappella.
Sing it. Bring it on.
Your name, please.
Lorraine Thomas.
Lorraine Thomas.
Yes.
Lorraine, tell me the story of you. Where were you born?
Oh, I was born in Kingston, New York, upstate. I moved to the Bronx.
You moved to the Bronx in what?
Years ago. I was in between. My mom moved from here to here. We lived all over the Bronx.
Okay.
I can't even name how many places we done moved to. Well, I was 16 back in 72. That's about as far as I can go. That's it, because my mom had a lot of kids, so they moved all over. There were 12 of us.
12.
So my mom, my dad, them moved from here to here to here. My dad, 4 girls.
And the rest boys.
All boys.
What was that like? What was life?
It was rough.
It was rough.
A lot of fighting going on, a lot of banging going on, so you know how that was. Teenagers. I had my first child at 16. They was fine, they was all right, because I was thug back with them. I like being with my brothers, because it was only 4 girls, so.
Who were you closest to?
The one, they all dead now. So I was like close with all of them.
What was the Bronx like in the 70s?
It was nice back where I lived on 140th. Wasn't that bad. We used to sit outside, and they had to lock no door, party all night. at a young age. But I had fun. I did my thing. When I moved around here in Bronx River, it started getting worse. And that was like in 79.
When you say worse, how was it getting worse?
It was all right. We just had started building. People was coming in, new peoples.
Okay.
Things had changed.
Was it getting dangerous?
Well, it wasn't dangerous for me, but it was getting dangerous. Everything was cool, but everything rules, everything changes. People change.
What did you see?
Going on a lot of drugs, a lot of this. You already know, drugs, prostitutes, winding down in front of the building. You already know the rest of that, and that ain't no lie. Winding down in the cars, be rocking and shaking and doing what they do. Hey, you see all kind of stuff.
What did it do to this community?
That just brought it down.
It brought it down.
And made it look bad. All the good peoples are gone.
Because of
someone with the drugs and some out here,
got killed?
Yeah.
Girl in our family.
I wasn't no girl. I was a tomboy. I wasn't no girl. I was out there with the thugs. I told you that. I never grew up no girl because I mostly hung with a lot of boys. And I always was into fights.
Did you fight alongside your brother?
Yes, because then I had to protect the brother. So when they went down, I went down too. I protected my brother when they were trying to kill him out there in the street, and they were getting ready to get me, and I had to protect them.
That's
my brother. That's one of the drugs, and him and his girlfriend, and they were doing that. And then one day we was at a carnival on Fox Street, and they spotted him, and they spotted me too, but they glazed him. So I had to catch him, I grab him and take him into a abandoned building, and that's where I had to work on him, and then I called my mom and said, he just got shot. And she had a prayer service going on that night. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Now we all scared because now we got to live like this because we don't know when them guys going to come back.
Or somebody was looking.
No, the guys were looking for him where we lived over there on Home Street. And when they knocked on the door, when they knocked, my mom go there with some loud. Why are you going there with loud? We about ready to get killed in here. And she dropped the line and burned her feet up. They just knocked the door down. I said, well, why you got your man in here and he can't protect? Put him out too. He went on back in the room. Ain't no help. And first thing she said, oh Lord, I don't want Lorraine to go because Lorraine gonna fight. So, and then they came on there, but they didn't find them because they was under all the clothes. They was under a lot of clothes. So my mom just talked to them and said, but at that time they had made us all go outside because they was up on the staircase with the shotguns and guns. So we all had to go outside. So my mom said, oh, I left my pocketbook. Now she thinks she playing them. I left my purse. Here they gonna say, well, okay, you go back up there and get your pocketbook. Meanwhile, she go back up in there scared to death. All she could do is say, Jackie, you got to get out of here. They underclosed. She said, hurry up and y'all get out of here. So she got the pocketbook and she came on back out. I ain't got no dough now. Don't lay it down. So they made it out and ran to the roof. So when they got up on the roof, because they had the joint together. So when as they running, I'm looking like this. And all I know, the gun to my head like this because I'm looking, they tell me I'm a spy. I said, spy? What I know about a spy at 13 years old? They said, oh, you a spy because you know what, because I said, I don't know nothing. So all along, I see them jumping from building to building to get away. And then when they caught this girl, that was a done deal. They got her to get to him. And they didn't get him, but they got her. And when they got her, they did a train on her. And don't you know he went and found her and climbed up on the roof, climbed down the fire escape, and all he could do was look through the window. They got her tied to the bed with no clothes on. They did everything they wanted to do to her. I said, well, what kind of mess is this?
And they all died. All
of them gone, yeah. Because they was all out there doing just what they were doing. She get in between. You can't get in between nobody when they out there fighting. Because that's the drugs doing it. And she trying to do this, trying to pay people off. I said, oh, you a thug now. Now you drug dealer, you paying off people too? I said it's time for me to move. Because I ain't going to stay here and get killed. And I was the last one there after everybody gone. I was me and the rest of them on down. Until I left. I said, it's time to go. Make me a better person now because I don't be hanging around no thugs and all them that I see that's doing that. I go another way. Because I think about all what my brothers and them done went through. And I thank God that my kids, they ain't out there doing nothing. I thank God for that.
Why do you work here at the center?
To keep myself busy. To mingle with everybody.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
Everything. I like to clown around here and I like to run stuff. And do what I like to do in here.
What's the favorite part of being here in this space with these people?
Just slap the cook.
She's off the chain.
She's off the chain, man.
off the chain.
She is off the chain. It's been 5 years and she's still off the chain. But what you gonna do? But I enjoy the people and mingling and serving, because I like to do things like that.
So do you consider yourself a senior citizen?
No, I handle my business. I ain't got time to be no senior. I get into too much. You know, I ain't sitting around slouching. No, it ain't that. I like to dance. I like to handle my business, get my head tight. You know what I'm saying? You know how that go. They need a lot of programs. That's what they need. They need to get involved in something which we don't have.
God.
They need they need God, they need church, but they need to be into some kind of program, something structured. Not being out here on the corner smoking weed, getting into trouble, beating up their parents, which they do. Ain't nobody beating me up because it ain't happening. But that's what these kids do. The parents are scared of them. Why?
You can't have sex.
You love your own self. You buy your own dildo and do your own sexy thing. You don't have to go get love from nobody. You get your own. Keeping it real, sister. That's the way it go. You went there. Don't go there. You don't need no man or no woman to satisfy you. Not do your own. If you don't know what to do with it, then you got a problem.
Hallelujah.
Thank you. Amen. And I'm gonna keep it real.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Absolutely.
Ain't no such thing about getting old.
You think
everybody gets some kind of tingling and feeling going on. They say, all right.
the sensation
I ain't mad. Never do.
The sensation doesn't end.
No, it don't.
Right? We're not dead.
We still alive.
We still alive.
We got something going on. You got a nipple. You got something to work with. You take a nip.
Listen.
Hey.
I don't like talking about
Hey, don't need it.
Still have sex.
And there you go. Now, of course they 70. That's what I'm saying.
They still.
What did I got? It ain't nothing but a number. About a number, tell you the truth. You know, you keep yourself going. Right. You got to be active. You just can't sit around and be moving. That ain't gonna get you nowhere.
That's right.
So you do what you have to do. With the time I have left.
I will do what?
Have sex all day long. Anything else you want to know? The time I have left, that's just what I'm going to be doing.
Say it again.
And the time that I have left, I'm going to have sex every day. And I'm going to party every day. And I'm going to love myself every day. Because I'm going to make myself feel good.
That's right.
That's the way it goes. Ain't no love lost here, baby. I got too much going on.